Solar heaters, like upturned satellite dishes, cook the local people's food here to save on firewood and protect the environment. Even as the mountains spoke of solitude, silence, and oneness, the markets were buzzing with tourists and activity. Muktinath was buzzing with tourists. There was still a ways to go to walk past Muktinath towards Jomsum and Pokhara. These new landscapes looked entrancing from the distance. The route there was by road, a bumpy road that was constantly buzzing with vehicles, unbelievably busy. Why? Because everybody who came to Jomsum would have to drive up, come to Muktinath. For us, this was not pleasurable. To be on a motorable road with fuming vehicles? No. We decided our trek was as pleasurable as it possibly could get. We thanked God for its success, negotiated rates with a jeep runner, and squished ourselves inside to reach Jomsum. The mountains on this side were completely dry and devoid of any vegetation. The road was so bad that there was nothing steady about the ride or what we would see. The team was in jolly spirits as we drove past this really sparse and extremely unusual landscape. It was like a mountainous desert almost. Nothing there, barely anything. A patch here and there with a village. How did these people live here? Who came and went along those tracks? It was hard to fathom. There was vertical geological upliftment along these rocks. Just astounding to see. A closer view revealed the zigzag path where people could actually walk from the village up and over the mountains there. Imagine the amount of fitness one would have to go up this. But then the villagers probably would do it in a couple of hours in rubber chappals.
Yeah, friend. They are going easy. Yeah, yesterday they fly from Pokhara.
The team was in very high spirits. The trek was successful, customers were safe and satisfied.
Jomsum बाजार 12 बजे हावा सर ए हजुर घर हाम्रो पोखरा आजसम्म बाँचेन घरबार यो डाँडा ढाक्यो कुहिरोले आज पनि परेन लैबरी लगाइहालौँ माया यही बेला फेरि मौका आउँदैन लैबरी जमसुङ बजार 12 बजे हावा सर ए हजुर घर हाम्रो पोखरा अहिलेसम्म त बाँचेन घरबार.
We were passing the farm dwellings that surrounded Muktinath, houses made of stone, stuck together with clay, stone wall boundaries, wooden logs piled high on the roof, firewood for future use. There were orchards here, lots of young trees as far as the eye could see. Rivulets ran along the edge, meeting the river down below. Bharat, the guy who was singing at high altitude, could definitely not be stopped at these lower altitudes. He was in full form, coming up with one song after the other, and the others chorused in joyfully as we listened and bumped along. We stopped as a courtesy to the frightened horse. Poor thing had to go through all this traffic. We passed fields that looked like potato fields. The soil must have been very, very rich and loose. Of course, full of rocks, thanks to the glacier.
ठाडी जाने उकाली तेर्सो जाने गली ठाडी जाने उकाली तेर्सो जाने गली छोडीमा जाउँ त माया लाग्छ लैजाउँ भने डाली हे छोडी जाउँ त माया लाग्छ लैजाउँ भने डाली हे रेशम पिरी उडेर जाउँ कि डाँडामा भन्दै रेशम पिरी हे रेशम पिरी
The jolly mood that they reflected was completely the opposite of the somber mountains ahead. The landscape somehow reminded me of Tibet. That I had seen Tibet, but then the caves, the lonesome monasteries tucked away in the mountains, with sunlight glistening on their domes. This entire landscape was actually a gouged out glacial valley, now gone dry, bereft of snow. It looked like a scene out of a movie, maybe somewhere in Afghanistan or some other place like that. Dry, lonely, except for this. The landscape just continued the same way down this rubble road. We sat in the car, entertained by this joyful music from the back, the laughter and the gaiety and the simple happiness. Thanks for watching this What is India production. Give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.